Well, I'm Piet Eichholtz. I'm a professor of real estate and finance here at Maastricht University. And my relationship to the program is very simple. I'm one of the founders of it, and I'm also one of the academic directors of it. So in that sense, I'm responsible for the content and also partly for the organization of the program. Well, it tries to fill first a gap in the international real estate education of people, because most real estate programs globally are quite parochial or focused on one country, their own country. That's one really big gap that we see. Second big gap that we see is that there's a lot of real estate programs at the master level, so early career programs, but there's not a lot in mid-career. And there's also no programs that look really at leadership. So for leadership programs, you go to general leadership programs, but in one program to combine real estate and leadership, that doesn't exist. And we think that's key because real estate leadership also needs the real estate knowledge to be really effective. Well, the focus areas are, of course, real estate finance, real estate development, new megatrends in the industry. And there we talk about technology, very much also about climate risk, climate abatement, making sure that climate risk doesn't happen by energy efficiency of buildings and things like that. It's a huge area of interest in the markets globally. And that's also where we have a lot of expertise, so we can really help the audience there. And of course, very importantly, leadership. So leadership skills like negotiation skills, presentation skills, influencing skills, how to manage teams effectively, always with a real estate framework, looking at specifically real estate problems and teams in that industry. The teaching philosophy is active, active, active. So we don't like professors sending and students receiving. What we want is an active conversation, an active dialogue among teachers and students. We think that students always also will learn a lot from each other, because again, we're talking about a mid-career program. That means the people in the program have between 10 and 15 years of work experience at a minimum. And that means they have a lot of experience that is useful as an input into the program, and others can learn from that. So that dialogue in the classroom, permanent dialogue, is really important. No matter whether we have a class setup, no matter what we do a case, no matter if we go outside and visit a building or an urban redevelopment project, that is really key. Activity, learning from each other. Okay, the leadership skills that the students will learn are first managing and creating productive teams. And then teams from very diverse backgrounds, internationally, and so different cultures, but also diverse in terms of their leadership skill, their real estate skills. Developers, lawyers, financiers, builders, etc., etc. These are people that not necessarily speak the same language or come with the same knowledge base. And that is sometimes difficult then to create coherent teams. And a real estate leader should bridge these gaps and should make sure that they can talk to each other and be productive. That's one. Second is more, let's say, personal development goals or skills for a leader, like persuasion and negotiation, like influencing, like motivating people. These are just, let's say, general personal leadership skills that are also going to be really important in the program. The trends are clear, also given the institutions that teach the program. MIT is, of course, the leading technology institute in the world. So we're going to talk a lot about technology when it comes to buildings, when it comes to development, but also technology when it comes to finance, finance, prop tech development. That's going to be key. Also really important is sustainability. There, Maastricht and MIT both are world leaders, and we're going to use the knowledge advantage that these institutes have to our advantage. Talk about climate risk, talking about sustainable buildings, always coming back. Okay, interesting, but what does it mean for the financial performance of the buildings that we talk about? Right. The instructors are going to be a very diverse group of people. Of course, academics. We are talking about a high-level academic program, university-driven, so academics play an important role, but very much also with practitioners there. So we're going to have industry leaders from, let's say, industry organizations like ULI, like PRIA, like EPRA, etc. But we're also going to have people who have leading positions in the industry, both as content experts, so they know about the real estate markets, etc., but also as leaders, and to share with the audience their leadership experiences, what they've learned in their careers, as it were, be a mix between teaching and advice. So that brings first, of course, the international perspective, MIT being a US institution and Maastricht very much a European institution. So that's one thing. Second thing, of course, is that they're very complementary when it comes to knowledge and the research that these institutes stand for, with MIT very much having, of course, a foothold in, or a base better, in technology, but also in architecture, design and development. Maastricht University, maybe more in finance and sustainability, climate risk and issues like that. The collaboration with ULI is key. ULI is, of course, the global network for property developers and property development as a knowledge base of the industry, and development is going to be key in the program. Not just greenfield development, but very much also redevelopment in urban setting, in properties that already exist, and redevelopment from an energy efficiency point of view. So that is key. I think that's also key for the world as it stands right now. And ULI is a key partner there. So what we will have is, let's say, ULI leaders, but also members of ULI who have this leadership role will get a key position in the program. The program is designed for people who have 10 to 15 years of work experience at a minimum, and who are ready for the next step. And that could be people who have a finance background, but it could also be people who are in the real estate industry and coming from a legal background or planning background, etc. So this diversity we embrace, this diversity in previous knowledge is really important. And the idea is to get together and to bring these people to that next level.